beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. This is an impromptu video. I just came back from the gym, and I also had a client session today that inspired me to create this. Haven't even showered yet, just literally opened up the camera and wanted to film because it was fresh in my mind. So my client was on our call and she was like, Michelle, I hear you talk in your videos about how to become the observer, how to take a helicopter view of your life and your thoughts, and how to separate yourself from the ego. Like, how do you see yourself? And it took me a moment and I was like, wait, like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that you guys aren't all in my head, in my bubble, experiencing what I experience. And maybe people don't understand this. So I figured I'd make a video on how to drop out of the head and into the body, and also become the observer of when you're too much in your head, in your ego. So what I told my client was, I told her to practice. There's a practice that you can do where you literally watch yourself. Okay. So when I first started doing this, I would lay in a meditation and I would watch myself grab my car keys from my little hook over here. I'd grab my car keys. I'd leave my door. I'd go and lock it. I would see myself walking down the stairs, going out to my Jeep. I might wave at a neighbor, say hi to them. And then all of a sudden, I would be watching myself in my meditation or just as I'm daydreaming. And I would feel this sense of love. And I was so proud of the woman that I am. And I was like, wow, I'm really blessed to be living in this beautiful apartment. And I'm blessed to have wonderful neighbors. And I'm happy that I'm the type of person that says hi, and that inspires her neighbors with a cute little chalkboard outside of my door. And even, for example, this morning, one of my neighbors, she's a teenage son who lives 2 doors over, and she gave him my number, and he texted me, was like, hey, Michelle, I overslept. I missed my ride to school. Could you take me to school today? And just the fact that they trust me, she trusts me to drive her son to school. She felt safe to ask me, and she knew that I would show up for her. And of course, I did that for her son. And I took him to school, and it was a nice little conversation. And of course, the universe moves us to certain people and places at certain times for the perfect things to unfold. And we had a great conversation. You know, unfortunately, my neighbor had lost a son, just like I lost my daughter, and we had that in common. Well, her son, I was the one taking him to school, and he lost his brother. So somehow in the conversation, it came up, and he was talking about how he's a better person because of it. And I'm just like, this is so magical. I love this conversation right now. I wanted the ride to last longer. So I dropped him off at school. So anyway, when we observe ourselves living our lives, we get this higher perspective. We get to see ourselves the way others see us. And part of our experience in these bodies as souls living life is to really feel into the experience. And when we can see ourselves behaving in certain ways, or doing good deeds, or just living life, appreciating the trees, appreciating the sunshine, we can really feel into life, and we can find peace through chaos, and we can appreciate and find gratitude for everything that we already have. So when I say in my videos, take the helicopter view, be the observer of your thoughts, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, look at yourself, watch yourself live your life. Find gratitude for yourself. Be proud of who you are. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful that, you know, I was grateful that I had the time to take him to school, and I didn't have this full-time job that bogged me down. Like, I was able to help. And I believe that when my soul transitions, that moment in my Jeep, having that wonderful conversation about life and how we become better after loss and grief, like, to me, I think my soul will get a little green check or an A+ for doing that. You know, that, to me, that's more important than anything. And when we become the observer, we can celebrate ourselves, which enhances our manifestation abilities and our co-creation abilities, because we're in alignment with who we are and who we came here to be. But if we are unaware, we're stuck in our head all day long. We're worrying about the future. We're worrying about the past repeating itself. We're beating ourselves up. We're telling ourselves we have to do more. We're not doing enough. And being on a spiritual journey, you can create a whole nother layer of your ego that tells you you're not doing enough manifesting. You're not doing enough spiritual work. And that is the inner child in you that is still thinking that you need to do to be loved, to be accepted, or if you don't do this, X, Y, and Z, your life is going to fall apart, because that's how you felt as a child. So, becoming the observer, taking a helicopter view of you and your life is going to help you fall more in love with you. It's going to help you see that you're not your thoughts. And it's going to help you see the inner child in you that needs that love, that needs that compassion, that needs to know he or she is safe. And, on my client call, we were talking about how the old version of her, when she used to work at a job that she was unhappy at, it created all of this chaos in her life because she was out of alignment. She would have to wake up at a certain time and get her son out of bed, and he would fight her every morning with buckling his seatbelt in the car. And it was just chaos. And now she lives a totally different life. She quit her job. She had all these cool synchronicities happen, all of these manifestations come in. Now she's waking up calmly, getting her son in the car. He doesn't even fuss about the seatbelt anymore. And if he does, it's like once every few months. But now she knows how to handle it. And she knows that her vibration was creating all of that chaos. And I had her take that helicopter view of, this is your life in a bubble over here, your old life. This is your new life. Look how you jumped timelines. Look how you changed your reality by being in alignment with what you love to do and letting go of the part of your life that's not serving you. So I would like to invite all of you right now, if you are at a job or in a partnership that is draining your energy and you don't feel good, you're not going to show up well in your partnerships. As a parent, showing up for yourself, you're not going to take care of yourself. You're not going to have food in the fridge. You're not going to think to do the things that you're thinking to do in this new version of you because you're too clouded. You're not seeing yourself. And I understand it might be hard to take that higher perspective. And that's why it's like a muscle. You have to practice. Okay. So lay in a meditation, go into a daydream, and see yourself talking to your kids. See yourself doing your job, getting ready in the morning, cooking a meal. You're literally watching your body do physical things in your home, and then see what thoughts come up. Okay, I guarantee you're going to start to feel gratitude for yourself. You're going to start to be proud of yourself, or you're going to start to see how sad you look and how you're not taking care of yourself. And you're going to see what you need to change. So when we become the observer, we can separate ourselves from the mind, and we can see ourselves more clearly to find appreciation and gratitude in the moment for what we have. And then we can take action to step out of ego, live from soul, really celebrate ourselves, and make the change moving forward to set ourselves up to feel good, to change jobs, to take a break, to take a day off, to rest. Maybe you're somebody who gets up and you're just on this hamster wheel and you just go, 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 and you never rest. You don't even have time to take the helicopter view because you're so busy. And as souls, we are not meant to be busy. We are meant to be present. We are meant to be observing. Okay. We are observing the human experience. Your human is doing the best that they can, but they're working from the level of consciousness that has been created over the past however many years you've been alive. And the soul, when you awaken, the soul starts to see the human part of you, and it starts to self-correct. And you start to change things. You start to act different. You start to move your human to do different things. You're like, wow, I'm going to start working out. And I always say that because our soul lives in our body and our body is our house. So working out and moving our body could be yoga, could be a meditation, could be flow, could be Pilates, could be weight training, could be sprinting, whatever you like to do, could be dance, is considered a workout. So when I say workout, I'm talking about all of those things. So when we move our body that our soul lives in, we're moving the energy. We're all just energy and we have to move it. Okay. It's just like a river. If a river stands still, the water gets stagnant, it gets smelly, it's gross. We need the water to be moving. Okay. That's just like our bodies. We always need to be moving. So when we move, we're creating space in our mind to think better thoughts. So as your soul begins to self-correct and it starts to move your human to start to take care of things around the house, to start to clean your house, to look at your finances, to do all the 3D physical things, you then are now the observer of your life. You're looking at yourself and what you're doing, and what you're not doing. You're self-correcting what you're not doing, and you're celebrating what you are doing. Okay. And this is really the helicopter view of life. And then when you are in soul observing you, guess what else you get to do? Now you get to observe others, and you get to find compassion because they might not be observing themselves. And you might be a guide for them. You might be able to show them, like, hey, I used to do that too. And I was so unaware of how jealous I was, or how I was not always telling the truth, or how I wasn't being honest with myself, or maybe I was being a mean parent and I was trying to control my kids. Now that you're the observer, you can see that part of you and you can correct it. And then you can guide others to correct it too. Okay. So when I do my client sessions, you guys are teaching me too. Like, I get inspired to create these videos because it helps me see where you guys might be and where I am. And when I became the observer of my life, it changed my life. And I still found myself not really seeing the whole picture. And then I would have people enter my life and I would observe them and I would see aspects of me in them. And I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm just like them. Why didn't I see this before? And then I would correct. My soul would correct my human and start to be better. So the more aware we become of who we are and what we're doing and our habits and our patterns and how we behave, the more we grow and expand. Okay. Awareness is all we need. As soon as we see it, we can't unsee it. And your life will become more chaotic and more difficult if you don't self correct. Okay. Because the universe is showing you versions of you and you're seeing it, but then you're not doing anything about it. And that's when people usually book a session with me because they feel stuck and they're like, I don't know what's going on, Michelle. Everything's not going well. I'm not getting manifestations. And it's because they've been shown what they need to fix. And it might be something small, or they've been shown the next steps and they're not catching it. They're not seeing the breadcrumb. And when you become the observer, you're like, oh, I see everything now and I feel good. And I'm seeing how the universe is talking to me through other people, and I'm getting messages and my guides are talking to me. And you feel like you're in the flow and you're like, all right, I am feeling good. Money's flowing, relationships are flowing, and there's always going to be hiccups. So nothing's ever perfect. But the more we become aware of our surroundings and what we're doing, the more energy we're putting out there into the universe that is good, that's saying, hey, I'm in alignment. And when you're in alignment, it's flow. It's flow city. It's nirvana. You're just feeling so freaking good. And life is expanding you and you're allowing it to. That's the big piece. We are allowing ourselves to grow and expand when we're in the higher perspective. When we're seeing our human doing certain things, we're allowing them to change course and to self correct. Our whole life is all self correcting. We're changing the patterns that have been taught to us in childhood. We're loving ourselves. We're appreciating how far we've come. We're seeing ourselves becoming this better person, and we're just celebrating us. And we don't need to tell anybody about it. We can just sit with ourselves at night and go to bed, hug your pillow, and be like, I'm really proud of the person that I am. I'm really proud that I've awakened. And I'm really proud that I'm leaving a mark, and I don't need to share it with the world. I'm just doing it because it feels good. And this is part of my soul's mission. And when you transition out of that beautiful body, out of that beautiful vehicle that you picked for yourself, you're going to look back at all those small moments where you picked up a neighbor, took them to school, where you picked up trash off the ground when nobody was watching you, when you watched a video to educate yourself on how to be better, why everybody else is maybe not doing that. You're taking the action to do it for you. Those are the moments you're going to look back on and be so proud of yourself. So keep doing it. Keep celebrating you. Do not judge yourself. Do not tell yourself you're not doing enough. Just try to practice, strengthen that muscle in your imagination of seeing yourself, and really observe and then course correct. Allow your soul to correct the human part of you and forgive the human part of you because you didn't know any better. Nobody taught you this. Nobody taught you how to become the observer. You're now just learning this, or maybe you have been on this path, but now you're getting stronger. And to finish this video, I want to talk about how do we get out of that chatter in our head when we are really just in a dark cloud and we can't, and we're witnessing it, but we can't get out of it. What do we do? Okay, so this is what I like to do. I catch the thought in the moment. So if you're in a mundane moment in your life and you're feeling panicked and you're worried about your finances or job or person or relationship, whatever it is, right? You're hearing the chatter. You're hearing the ego needing to know. It needs to know what's next. You pause because you're watching yourself. You're watching your human freak out. The ego's having a tantrum. It's grabbing onto the rope because it feels like it's dying. And you say, I'm not going to listen to that thought. And you literally put your hand up and you say, no, not right now. I'm going to take this problem and I'm going to put it on a shelf. It will figure itself out. My brain will not come up with the solution to this. Ego, I see you trying to control. It's okay. We're safe and we're protected. We're going to put it on a shelf and God's going to take care of it. The universe is going to take care of it. My angels and guides will jump in my body and make me make the phone call. They'll make me check my bank account. They'll make me do it when I feel calm and ready to take action. And you put it on a shelf, right? So that takes about 30 seconds. You think that thought, you put it on a shelf, and then what you do next is you go do something that you love. Okay, go take a bath, go take a walk, go make a meal, call a friend, do something that drops you down into your chest, into your high heart, into your joy, into your happiness. Maybe it's going and, playing with your nieces and nephews or your children or your grandchildren, listening to music. We have to drop you out of the head and into the body. So the way you know you're in your body is when you feel emotion that is super, super positive and amazing and it feels good. When you're laughing, when you're singing, when you're creating, if you're creating from your sacral space, your belly. These are all signs that you're in your body. Maybe you're working out, you're feeling the physical pain of a workout. Okay, so anytime you're stuck in your ego and you're in your chatter, that's why people go to work out, because it drops you out of your thoughts. And it's almost like when you move your body and you move the energy, it's like you have all of these balls of yarn in your brain and they're all intertwined. All the colors are intertwined. When you go do a workout or when you meditate or when you journal or when you take a bath, you do something that you love, all of those pieces of yarn are raveling up around their specific yarn ball. So all the red is going to go to the red ball. All the blue is going to go to the blue. So now in your head, everything is compartmentalized. Everything is organized. That can simply happen just through moving your vessel. Okay. So that's why movement is really, really important, or just meditating and journaling. You're getting everything kind of all cleared out. And sometimes journaling can hurt us because we can stay too much in our head, but other times it can help us because we can do what's called a brain dump, and you can get all those crazy thoughts on paper. Then you see it and you're like, these are delusional. This is not going to happen. I don't need to worry about this. And then you throw that paper out, and then you create space to put new thoughts on that paper. Those are those organized thoughts. So always have that visual of all the yarn all scattered. And then when you're done doing a workout, meditating, journaling, all of a sudden it's organized again. And that means you've dropped into your body and you're in your appreciation, you're in your gratitude. You've put the problem on a shelf and you're like, I don't need to worry about this right now. I trust that I will take action to figure it out when the time is right. But I am not going to take action from fear, from being in my head, from trying to overthink something. Okay. So in this video, you just learned how to become the observer of those crazy thoughts, how to become the observer to appreciate your life and who you are and how you're being and your growth. And you're really looking at the whole picture and you're not letting the mind control you. And then you're seeing when it's starting to get out of control and you've observed it now, right? You're doing what you're meant to be doing. You're seeing it. You're not subscribing to it. But what do you do when it's out of control and you can't get out of it? You put it on a shelf. You say, I don't need to worry about this right now. Okay. Even if it's 2 a.m. in the morning and you're in your anxiety and you're in your fear, you're saying, I'm putting it on the shelf. I don't need to know right now. I'm going to give myself 2 days and a solution will come when the time is right. And then you go distract, go read a book, go take a bath at 2 a.m. I take baths all the time in the middle of the night when I feel like I'm too much in my head, because the water grounds you. The water allows you to feel like you're back in nature. Okay, so that's a little tip that might help some of you in the middle of the night when you're dealing with awakening symptoms. You have that anxiety coming up, let it be there, but then go do something to nurture yourself. Okay, so dropping down into the body is a huge part of your awakening. This is how you manage your emotions. You are not letting the ego create a story that's going to keep you on a loop for months, for years, for weeks, for hours. You're stopping it in the moment by becoming the observer. You're choosing differently, putting it on a shelf, and you trust that the answer will come. It always does, you guys. We are always being protected and taken care of. And when you start to really see how you're being protected and taken care of, then life becomes easier because there's no moment where you feel chaos, where you feel fear, where you feel anxiety. You're just fully trusting and you know how to navigate those moments. So I hope this video helped you. If you need more information on this, I do one-on-one sessions. I do an 8-week mentorship that really helps people get control of their mind, how to navigate the spiritual journey. It is not easy. We cannot do it alone. We need somebody to mirror back to us the parts of us that we can't see. We need help becoming the observer because sometimes we observe ourselves and we're not happy. We're not proud of our past decisions, and we need someone there to encourage us along the way. So hit me up if you feel called. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for supporting me and my channel. I'm sending you so much love. Have a wonderful day. All right, peace out.